What's going on? Well,
see it, Jim.
Right, so I see your guns. I see, but look at it there.
Got disproportionate arms, apparently.
What do you mean?
This was a comment, someone wrote a comment. James got big arms, or he's just got no, because they're I don't know, disproportionate to his body. Thank you.
You got to be quite thick-skinned on these YouTube, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we need to. It's a good reason to stay in shape, isn't it? I try to.
I need to get in shape.
I've completely gone off the wagon in the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's been so busy.
You're not going to gym?
So just too busy, man. When I just knackered by that point. I just can't be asked. I'll start again next week. You getting all this? Alright. Go whenever.
Yeah, go whenever.
Yeah. Right, welcome to One for the Weekend. Your preview show.
Is that it?
What?
Well, that's not very. This is a brand new podcast.
Right, do you want me to go big?
Welcome. Yeah, go
Well,
on.
I don't want to. Yeah, but if you shout too loud, then it's peaking. That's called Flav.
Oh.
And that can affect
What, peak too
quality.
soon?
Well, no, yeah, that and also volume.
I've been doing podcasting for nearly 6 years, and I've never worried about peaking
Really?
in my personal life or on.
Yet to peak. Yeah, well, that's why I was going to shout. I am excited though. This is good.
Yeah.
There's a bit of me and you time. Flav.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
But
staring right at each other.
I know it
And
feels intense.
I like the fact that I can see your guns slightly as well. I'm just sort of aroused.
I don't know what to say to that. There's only so low I can dip to hide them.
Not low enough.
If you're listening on Bull Street Audio Network, then hello, welcome, thank you for listening.
That's a new thing, the Bull Street Audio Network.
That's a new name.
Yeah.
Revitalised name.
Ultimately, because we do the Long Bull Street every week, we're going to be doing this now, which is One for the Weekend.
Yep.
It's a preview show brought to you by Fanleague.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be other bits and pieces that are going to be releasing through the audio network. So it's now Bull Street Audio.
We need to bring it out.
Yeah.
Right? We need to make it a little bit bigger. So yeah, this was going to be me and you, Flav, dissecting 30. Well, we're not going to go through every single game. We're going to go through the big talking points of this weekend, and it's a decent weekend as well. We're going to talk about the FA Cup semi-finals. Flav's going to one.
Yep.
Talk about the top four, because there's a couple of the other teams that aren't in those FA Cup semi-finals obviously playing in the Premier League this weekend. Some Premier League relegation games which are Flav, you've got your indifferent to.
Indifferent. Indifferent means feel nothing. I'm pretty angry about it. The three of the most boring games on earth.
But that's a good reason to stick around, isn't it? To find out why Flav's so angry about the fixtures in the Premier League relegation scrap this weekend. Yeah. And then we'll dip into the Championship. Never thought you'd be on a podcast where you're talking about Championship football, did you?
A little bit worried that I might be out of my depth.
Surely not. Surely not. No chance. So we talk about the playoffs. We'll talk about Harry Redknapp. There you go. You know about Harry Redknapp. We can talk about that.
Indeed.
Who might go down, and give some of our predictions, as well as a derby game for me and Adam, who's on the ones and twos on the side vision mixing QPR v Brentford. So we can talk about that, and Adam can yell from the sides. Exactly. Busy bumble, piss off. So just to say, One for the Weekend has been made possible by our friends at Fanleague. It's a new kind of app that's coming out in August, and it seems like pretty cool guys. And so each week we're going to be going head to head, doing our predictions till the end of this season on 13 English matches, and we're also going to be drafting in Fanleague ambassador and bloody good football journalist Ian McIntosh to compete with us. He's got more knowledge.
I would say I'm borderline close to being friends with Ian McIntosh.
Really?
I've had multiple phone conversations with him.
Right, so do you think if we can get him on the pod, then
the chemistry is going to be great?
Yeah, and that friendship could
blossom.
Could actually be an actual friendship instead of something that you're saying to me, but you look a little bit psychotic when you're saying it.
But my aim, and you will know this, is to become everybody's best man at their wedding.
Yeah.
Even if it makes it awkward for other people.
Well, yeah, and it has. I mean, I'm getting married this year, and I've got two best men, and both of them feel awkward around you.
Yeah,
and you're fine with that.
Good.
You got no qualms about that whatsoever.
No, because I mean, it's something you should strive to. Be everybody's best mate.
But that's like having too many girlfriends. There's a reason why you have one girlfriend.
Can't have too many girlfriends. It's social.
Hang on, let me get this down.
Social. It's a construct. I won't be a hamster in the wheels of social conformity.
Nice.
All right. If society says I should only have one girlfriend, I'll stick my 2 fingers up at society.
Oh, Jesus.
What I won't stick 2 fingers up is my girlfriend, who I love deeply, and she wouldn't be happy with me flinging it about.
You meant like as in going off and getting with other people?
Yeah.
Right. People will think that's something else, but don't worry. Let's just crash forward. So yeah, we're going to be giving our thoughts on these games, but you guys can get involved, and we'll show you how you can do that at the end of the show. But let's talk about having 3 wives. I was watching a documentary the other day, just as we were on that, just because you were saying like you can't have too many girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right. We will get into football, don't worry.
Is this the Mormon documentary?
Yeah. No, are they Mormon? I think they were something. Why don't more men buy women flowers? Soccer ham joke. Sorry. Yeah, there was this documentary I watched with the missus.
Yeah.
About this guy.
Yes, very
well. He had 2, and he was sort of half auditioning the 3rd one.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I saw that, and his brother died, and he wanted his wives as well.
Did he? I don't know. I didn't got to the end of it, mate. Is that right at the end of it?
Yeah, he didn't seem happy as well. I think.
Are you sure we're watching the same thing? It was on Channel 4.
I don't know.
Oh, right.
Feels like it.
Feels like it, yeah. But the guy, I found myself looking at the guy going, "You're not all that."
I don't think
you get free.
No,
the girls weren't that bad looking.
I think
I'm looking at a really shallow level.
It's a demand. I know what you're saying. It's a demand It's a religious demand. It's not whether or not he's good looking or not. It's their obligation. No woman wants to share a man with 3 other women.
Right.
I mean, it goes against. So. Anyway, should we talk about football?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about football. But what's exciting about this weekend for me is, and so this is one for the weekend. So this is a podcast you can listen on your way to the football, or on your way to an away trip. You've got a long trip there, and you can listen to that and enjoy it.
Get excited for the weekend.
Learn
some stuff about other games going on, other teams.
Exactly.
Because football fans are they're all so caught up on what's going on at their own football club. You know, I've got a semi-finals to go to this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, big day for me.
Great day for you.
I'm also thinking about you two, Brentford and QPR. So you know.
But for me, this is a nice moment because I go to the home games. I go to QPR. So I'm a QPR fan. I go to I've got a season ticket. So I get to the home games. That's in the diary. That's in the diary in August. Mrs. can't say anything about that. We're fine. We go, well, it's in the calendar.
It's in the diary.
And, you know, that was passed on by my dad to me. He went, get it in the calendar early. Keep an eye on how they're changing the fixtures on Sky or whatever. Get it in the calendar before she sees it. Because you can just point at it and go, look.
See, that's good advice from your dad. My dad just looked at me and went, don't get married, don't have kids.
Cheaper. Yeah, I mean, he's got a point.
And he goes to all the football
he wants. Yeah, exactly. But so, with that in mind, I get to go to that game, and I can maybe get there a little bit early and have a couple of pints from Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, I go, I'm catching up with my dad and get away with a bit of food afterwards, maybe. But I can't get a whole day's worth of football, really. Because
why?
I don't know, because we work very hard, don't we?
Yeah.
And you know, we do our own podcast as well, so that's one night of the week.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. The weekend, you've got to commit to the missus as well as the football.
Of course, you've got to pay into the relationship.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But this weekend, Flav.
Yeah.
This weekend.
You got a whole day.
Got a free pass. It's amazing.
Really?
Because one, it was in the calendar. It was in the calendar.
But where's your missus going? She's going somewhere.
I don't know.
She's going.
No, but don't worry, because I've got the triple of best mate Dom, who she knows. He's a Brentford fan.
Yep.
So that makes it a bigger game. Which to go, I'm meeting Dom before, so that's fine. And it's a derby game as well. So I don't have to be doing something I don't want to do instead of watching the football. I'm going to be at the football. I'm going to watch your game afterwards.
You mean spending time with the missus? Stuff you don't want to do.
That's not what I meant. That came out wrong, Flav. But the point is on a Saturday in your early 20s. You go out Friday night, you wake up hungover, you spend the entire day watching the football, and it's great. Right?
Yeah.
But there's people, they're out there, and they've lost their battle that weekend because they're having to
do something else.
Yeah, they've got a trip to IKEA.
Definitely.
An anniversary.
The worst one's the in-laws.
Yeah, well, God forbid.
I mean, at least IKEA can get yourself some of the meatballs at the end of the trip round IKEA.
Very well priced and very delicious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The mustard's great as well. But the you know, in-laws, guaranteed, you get nothing of that unless you're very lucky. With your in-laws are great.
Exactly. Well, yeah. God forbid, a children's birthday party.
Do you know what you want to do?
What?
You want to do what I did and get yourself a missus that lives far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it too late now?
No. I mean, you're engaged to be married.
We'll pay for the venue.
All right, maybe it's too late.
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
So this is what I wanted to do, guys, because there is a lot of men and women who have got to do something that isn't watching football on a Saturday, and that's tough.
Yeah.
And we want to appreciate that, and we want to celebrate that to a point, and just show our support for you guys who are missing out on the football. And so, in the comments below, what we want you to do is let us know why you're missing the football this Saturday or Sunday, this weekend.
Yeah.
Let us know,
and we'll
read out the best one.
Or if you have, because it might be that there aren't a lot of people listening to this and who are missing the football. Let us know also your the worst reason why you had to miss football.
The worst reason.
And we'll read out the best.
Because look, this is life.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't get to do what you want. You don't get to go to the football home and away.
Yeah.
You've got other commitments. So let us know the worst reason why you've had to miss the football, and we'll read them out next week.
So that's soldiers lost in the battle.
Right, soldiers lost in the battle. We're going to read that out next week.
One for the weekend, soldiers lost in the battle.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk football. FA Cup semi-finals, Flav.
Big.
Talking about my day, I've got a derby game. You trump that with an FA Cup semi-final.
I don't know if I do. I would say no. I would say a derby against your local rivals trumps an FA Cup semi-final. It just happens to be that a team I hate in Chelsea as well.
I wouldn't say it.
What's
FA Cup semi-final.
What? So if we were playing some club like Coventry in the FA Cup semi-final, that is.
You're one game from.
I'm more excited.
Wembley,
I'd be more up for a game against Arsenal than I would be that semi-final against Coventry. The most important thing, the game that tops all other games in football is the local rivalry, the game against your most hated rival.
I think, that this is interesting now. So I think this is a bit different for maybe, I don't know. So as a QPR fan, Brentford have become rivals in recent years, but Chelsea are our big rivals. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm not trying to dig you out. But that is the fact. So because of that, those games don't happen as often.
So you don't hate them as much?
Yeah, but I don't think... And also, an FA Cup semi-final, Adam, you probably back me up on this, you'd be more excited about an FA Cup semi-final than playing us, as you should. So, I guess that's why I'm amazed you say that.
As you said, that was patronising, because Brentford are currently sitting above QPR, and they have been for a long time. So maybe you should be a little bit more excited about that game. And maybe you should be a bit more flippant.
All right, well, yeah. Change your attitude. Be more flippant, Adam. What's wrong with you? But for you, and obviously, I've known you about, what is it, year and a half now?
Yeah.
Working very closely. And every day... That gay?
It doesn't matter if he's gay.
I'm sorry I said that. I didn't mean that. Sounds dodgy. Right. Arsenal. You hate Arsenal more than I know anyone hates other things.
Yep. I do. My hatred for Arsenal is equal to my love of Tottenham.
So with this game coming up, as big as it is, as an FA Cup semi-final. When's the last time you were in an FA Cup semi-final?
About 4 years ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah, against Chelsea. Got beat 5-0 or 5-1. Can't remember.
Let's talk about it. You've actually, deep down, let's be honest,
Yeah.
you're not even looking at that semi-final. You're looking at the possible final. Am I right?
No, you're not right. You're not. But it's in the back of my mind, and it's a part of the fabric. It's inside my DNA of the thought that we may get Arsenal in the final. But in order to protect myself from worrying about that, I'm just assuming we won't get through this one.
Right. And this is one of my upsets in my 13. Is I've hedged my bet. You can do that on Fanleague, but I've hedged it on either you winning or a draw.
Right.
And
what, on 90 minutes?
And that's a bit of an upset because 90 minutes. Because you are crap at Wembley.
Yeah.
Why are you so crap at Wembley?
I don't know. You've
been to Wembley a lot this year, actually, haven't you?
You just look. There's. I say I don't know. There's the home form and away form. That's a real thing. Your home form, it shouldn't make. It's still the same football pitch, but the intangibles are so significant.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
They're so significant.
So weird.
Our home form is among the best in. It probably is the best in Europe. It's something like 13 on the bounce or something. Yeah. Right? It's 13 wins on the bounce at home. It's up there.
I feel it's 14. Yeah.
It's incredible, right? And our away form's only just started to pick up in the last 10 games or so. So if it was just on home games, we would have run away with the league on its own. It's hard to describe. Every time we went to Wembley, everything kind of, I'd say, fell apart, right? We drew against Ghent in the second leg 2-2. Yeah, 2-2.
So have you not won at Wembley yet?
Yeah, we beat CSKA Moscow.
Right.
3-1. But by and large, we've been abject at Wembley. It's a weird thing. And that does come into it, you know.
Do you think part of it is because it became a thing? Because you didn't do well in Chelsea, it became. Well, what is it then? Well, they're not. What's different? Well, they're playing at Wembley.
There's also this thing that you can always throw these things in as well. Like Alderweireld has never lost against Chelsea. Spurs have lost 7 of their last 8 FA Cup semi-finals.
Yeah, there used to be a thing at the Millennium Stadium, but the team in the home end, like, or it's one or the other. Let us know in the comments or on Twitter. There was a changing room that was bad.
Yeah.
And QPR got to the playoff final, and we were in the wrong one.
Yeah.
And lost.
Most of these things are not omens; they're kind of coincidences. But our form at Wembley has been pretty bad, and it's a concern. But we're going out there, we're playing the best team in the country over the season because they're top of the league. They're playing the best form team in the Premier League. So it's hard. It's a pick'em game, and the consequences of it are so significant. That said, I'm going to say. Did I say this? I can't remember what I said.
I'd imagine you've gone with Spurs, haven't you?
As a banker.
You're going as a banker. Right. We might have to redo these now. It's fine.
I don't know. I'm just mucking about. It's a tough game. It's a tough game.
With that Wembley doubt, right? So last 6 matches in the league, Chelsea is 7th in the form table. Okay, 12 points. You're top of the form table, 18 points. Right?
Yep.
That Wembley doubt, where does that drop you down to in the, or where does it raise Chelsea up to in that form table? How big of a factor is that if you're doing an accumulator this week and you're picking between those two?
If you have to pick a game on one of the 13, I would avoid this game. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
The Wembley doesn't help us. Our form is incredible. In the last 10 games, Spurs are top of the form table. In the last 6 games, we average, in 83% of the games, we average 2.5 goals or more.
Flying.
That's madness.
Yeah.
That's over 4 of the last 5 games we've scored more than 2.5 goals. We are flying at the moment, but Chelsea are a great side. It is at Wembley. These things are naturally levelers.
Well, Craig,
it's 50-50.
Craig is a Chelsea fan. He said we're really good at Wembley, and I sort of jumped at it a little bit because I was like, well, how many of that lot have played at Wembley? Not that many. It's like historically, Di Matteo was brilliant at Wembley. It was 1997.
Yeah, but what it is things fans don't know. Fans can't know what's going on behind the scenes. So they have to have top line, sort of really kind of vague ways at looking at football that don't really mean anything, because nothing else can make sense, because we ain't watching them train. We don't know what form. We don't know what the mood is like. We know it's just 90 minutes, but it makes sense. It makes us feel better if we can attach these false senses of confidence to it, because otherwise it's just chaos.
Yeah. But I mean, certain things, there is a rhythm of winning games or losing games. There is, because you look at it one way or the other. You let in a goal. Yeah. If you're on a great run of form, you let in a goal. Oh, hang on a minute, we've scored over 2.5 goals in 83% of the last 6 games.
Shouldn't worry.
And you crack on. Or if you're in bad form, you go, oh, well, we're not scoring 2, are we?
Yeah.
And we've all been like that as football fans. We've watched games and gone, nah, no chance.
It's just one of those things.
But obviously, what gets forgotten is, you two are you're the top 2 battling it out for the title.
Yeah.
How big an impact can a big win or any kind of win do for
the rest of the league season?
For the rest of the league season. Do you think it plays any kind of part?
Massive, I do.
I don't.
The psychology of it, I do. I think Spurs are currently. I think it damages Chelsea more than it damages Tottenham. If we don't win, I think we just pick ourselves up and go against Palace. But we've chopped 6 points off of that 10-point lead that they had on us. 10 points, that's huge, right? We've chopped it down to 6. Sorry, chopped it down to 4 by 6. If we beat them at Wembley as well, what does that do to them?
I don't think it does much, because I think it's detached.
They ultimately know at this stage of the season, with the running, we are better than them.
But you know what I would do? I'd go, God, they're good. It's lucky we haven't got to play them. We haven't got to play them again. Because if I was Conte, you lose that game and go, okay, look, they were great. They're in great form. We've just got to beat these other guys. I don't know. I don't think it would have that much of an impact. I think you could lose your momentum if you lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, we could beat Chelsea and lose to Palace next week. I mean, that could happen. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. I think it does more to Chelsea's psychology, because they're already looking back now. Whereas before, Craig came into the office, just walking in, bowling around, cocksure, and now he's that little grin's not there anymore.
You always do that. You sound like a kettle when you're trying to find the word.
Yeah, well, I was trying to not say something offensive.
All right.
On a podcast brought to you by Fanleague.
Fanleague, yeah. Second in the form table over the last 10 games with 21 points is Man City, who play in the other semi-final. And this is the thing that everyone's probably... Well, what you do all the hype of like Arsenal v Spurs, that's going to be the semi-final.
Yep.
And then it comes to it, and it's Chelsea will win, Man City will win, won't they? And that's what I can kind of see happening. Everyone's got this really exciting final of these two teams. It'll end up being Chelsea Man City.
Yeah, typically. I mean, you'd expect, given what's happened at Arsenal, they used to kind of struggle to get past Borough, changing a system from Wenger. I don't know if that says that he's, you can teach an old dog new tricks, or an old dog's willing to learn new tricks. They understand that there's a fashion for the three at the back currently at the moment. All of the best teams in the Premier League, or the most exciting teams, are playing it. He changes the system, plays three at the back against Southampton, against Middlesbrough, and gets over the line.
The other side of that is, I think again we talk about you can spin anything, but one is he's gone and changed something, and you can see that as panic, couldn't you as well? Yeah. Well, Ranieri on Monday Night Football, he was talking about, why did you keep changing it? And he's like, well, essentially what he said was, well, it wasn't working. So do we just stick with the same thing, or do we change it? And there's as much merit in one thing as there is the other one.
You bloody love Ranieri, didn't you? You bloody love him.
Do you know what? And we're gonna get. This is the next thing we're going to talk about. He's managed massive clubs.
Yeah, his record is really good.
He's managed so many. We went up to Leicester the other day. Me and Craig going through it in the car. He's managed Parma, Inter Milan, Monaco, Juventus. I think it's Roma, Chelsea, like massive teams.
And then won the league with Leicester.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. I'm not sure he's that good. I've never been like before the Leicester job. I was like, he's rubbish.
I think what happens is he was tarnished massively by that Chelsea stint. In that he was called the Tinker Man. He was ridiculed by the press, and that's what you remember. You don't remember the relatively good seasons he had before with Chelsea. You certainly won't know anything about or remember or give him any credit for the good work he did in Italy. The problem is he never actually won the league with any of those massive sides. The irony is that he takes over Leicester with the help of Craig Shakespeare and wins the league.
Always got to get that in him, little Shakespeare.
So we haven't finished the Arsenal bit, though, have we? Let's quickly go back to that.
Yeah.
What's your feeling? Is this one of your bankers?
This is no, this is definitely not a banker. I think that both these are up in the air. What you've got to say is that Arsenal are still in a difficult position. I think the pressure is on them. Man City are in good form. This is Man City's for me, to be honest. I think with Company back, he looks good, looks solid. It was great to see him score a goal. That was a good celebration. Anyone that hasn't seen that goal, go check it out, because he literally just screams and runs. He's
had such bad luck. Truly, if fully fit, probably one of the best defenders in Europe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If not the best.
But yeah, are Man City any good? That was the thing I was saying around.
I don't know.
Is he good? Are they good? Sterling, is he any good?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The idea, he's. I mean, they're clearly good.
But are they good?
I know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they've got...
Giroud's good, isn't he? But is he good?
Is he?
Do you know what I mean?
I do. So there's this... It's kind of... I think a lot of people think about Harry Kane like that as well. They understand he's good, but why?
They can't compute why he's good.
Yeah. Man City should be better. I think that's what it is. They should be doing a lot more with the amount of money they've spent. Man City and Man United, by a country mile, have more expensive squads than Chelsea even, and the rest of the teams in the Premier League. They spend more money on wages. Also... they should be better. They are good, but they're not good enough.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I think it's for Guardiola. He took it. Oh, glass nearly went. He took it seriously from the off. He played a really strong team against West Ham in that first game, the third round game, won 5-1. Basically blitzed everyone in this competition, and he's taken it really seriously, which I like that. I think it's nice to see, because I still think the FA Cup's great. And for him, they look solid in terms of getting into the 4 points clear. I guess Man United got a game in hand. They got to play each other, so that could make it interesting. And we're going to get onto that Man United and Liverpool in a second. But I believe Man City will have enough with the games that they've got left to get into that top four. So that's why not go for it with the FA Cup. I think I expect them to have a little bit too much for Arsenal, unless Arsenal really kind of dig in and you see a fight that that we haven't overly seen with them, certainly since the turn of the year.
You
want that final, don't you?
No.
You do. You do.
No.
You do.
Look, I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah. Actually, yes. Yes, I do want that final.
You will feel sick. You will feel so sick.
I mean, I'm sick of the thought that we have to play Arsenal in 10 days' time at White Hart Lane, where we've been unstoppable. That makes me feel sick.
Yeah, because they're going to
ruin
ruin it.
Of going into...
Could do.
I mean, yeah, they could. They could.
This is something for you as well. As a guy who's got a Spurs podcast and is now on Ball Street, where we talk about all of these things. I'm quite lucky. I'm sort of hidden away. No one gives a shit about QPR. Whereas you were there right in the firing line.
Honestly, though, I am, but...
when you kind of get off on it, though, you as well.
I enjoy it. I enjoy winding up Arsenal fans, but when your rivals are Arsenal, you can't really lose. That sounds smug.
It does.
That's just how I feel.
Okay.
You know, they come from South London, they moved to North London, they destroyed everything that they would achieve in the next 100 years by doing that. I can't lose, they can't win.
In your mind.
That's how I feel anyway.
Right, top four. Liverpool versus Palace and Burnley versus Man United there in our fixtures. We'll put the full set of fixtures that we're predicting on in the comments below so that you can play along as well. We'll give you a bit more on that a bit later on. But yeah, Liverpool. Who's going to be your top four at the end of it? Obviously, you're safe. Chelsea are safe. Who's your top four, Flav? Talk to me.
Liverpool
are in there. They're making it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't lost in 7.
Yeah, they're second in the form table. They're playing football again. Played decent football
in
again.
The last 6 games. So they've got 2 form tables.
And they've seemed to cope without Mane in the first few games of being without him, where they didn't over the African nations. They struggled without him. So they look like they're doing all right, but they've got a tricky game against Palace. You know, no one likes Sam Allardyce.
Yeah,
and, you know, his opinion among his popularity amongst fans is quite low, especially after the England stuff. But you cannot deny the successes he's had. Yeah. If you have a problem in your football club, Sam Allardyce will sort it out.
Is there a problem? Are you not allowed to be manly and English and be a manager?
No, because it's a throwback to old school football management. You have to be philosophical, mild, and sort of
wear a gilet.
Weak looking, like Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
you know that
wearing a gilet.
Yeah, the only way you get respect is if you're seen to be a thinker. Whereas Allardyce probably has more tactical acumen than he's given credit for, but comes across as like a burly northern bloke who, you know, the old school English type manager. Sean Dyche, another one.
Yeah, but Sean Dyche is a bit more. He's so different to the player that he was. He was known as being a nutter as a player.
Well, he looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the voice for it. It's insane.
He talks like
his voice
it.
is bizarre.
Who would win in a fight between Sam Allardyce and Sean Dyche?
Allardyce has obviously got the reach, but hasn't got the. He's going to struggle with the side.
He hasn't got the whip. He hasn't got the psychopathy.
He's got the whip.
He hasn't got the psychopathy of
no.
Dyche.
I think that's a good point. I said this a while back. One, Sean Dyche's voice will get him 3 more months in any job that he's in. Because
what do you mean?
So if you go, right guys, so sit down. Right, we're going to completely change it up. I know we lost a few games, so it's going to be fine. We're going to change it up. We're going to go 3 at the back. 3 at the back? Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Right, if you do it like that, you're a player, you go, get us, mate. Do one. Right?
Do you?
Yeah, you do. But I'd say if you walk and go, right, he's got his mask. Hey, guys, right, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, you sit down. Right, this is what we're going to do. 3 at the back. Is that okay? And they're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, boss.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he's a nutter as a player.
Yeah, he's got reps.
Is helpful because you don't want it to get. You don't want him to snap. And so that's why those 2 things will get him at least 3 months extra in a job.
He deserves it though. He's done
brilliantly.
He has done brilliantly at Burnley, and it's probably why Eddie Howe didn't do very well up at Burnley when he because he is more softly spoken. He is more. Theoretical, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's a massive for you not to be connected to the club as a player.
Yep.
And to come in as a manager, and to get a connection with the fans is tough. I think it's really tough.
So who'd win in the fight?
Who'd win the fight?
Ad, what do you think?
Big Sam.
Why?
Because I reckon he's just really, really, really strong.
See, it's the strength.
Yeah.
It'd be a slow jab. It'd be like Foreman when he was 55.
I don't think you'd throw a
He
single.
lands a punch.
I don't think he'd throw a single punch. I think he would just go for the bear hug. And if Dyche got tangled up at all, Allardyce would just break his back by squeezing him really hard.
Really?
Yeah.
His goatee would like fall out.
Yeah.
And squeeze so hard.
Yeah, and his eyes would.
It's like iron
Allardyce
filings.
just got blood rage. Fuck you, Sean Dyche.
But yeah, he needs respect. We need to give him a bit more respect. Sam Allardyce as a manager. Everyone was like, they were going on a little bit of a run. They struggled. The first 4 games, I think they lost, something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's gonna take him down. But he's done it. He's done it again. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorted the defence out.
Sorted the defence
Brought
out.
a
Yeah.
great left back in Arnold. Great signing. I love him.
Do you?
Love him to bits.
We had a pedigree because he was at Chelsea, wasn't he? A few Sunderland fans were like, he's been awful this year. I go, well, yeah, but they all have.
He's the only one. He was the only creative threat that they had was from left back. He was doing it all on his own.
Exactly.
He sorted the defence out. He's got Kabaye playing again. They're quick. They've got Zaha and Townsend, 2 really pacey fullbacks. They're going to be a nightmare for anybody, especially if they sit back and break. I think Liverpool are going to struggle to some degree because they're going to try and play around them. It's going to be a weird one. They'll be forced to play around them, and as you know, Klopp likes to sit and counter as well. So it's going to be odd ones. Their styles, I don't think will mesh, and it'll be a tough game. But I'm hoping Palace win because there's just less pressure on second.
Yeah, I think at home, everything this is so weird when you're trying to make your predictions.
Yeah.
Everything says to me Palace will get something there.
Yeah.
And that's why I've gone for Liverpool. Just because I'm like, in that moment when I'm deciding which way I'm going, my prediction, I'm going to go Liverpool because I'm not trusting my gut on that one. So I might get that completely wrong. But I think Liverpool might, at home, just have enough. Because they're not taking their foot off the gas. They need to get that top 4. And that would be a massive achievement for them as well. Especially with Mane being out to the end of the season. Burnley will be a tough one at home for Man United.
I'm just sort of to the record. I'm going upset on Palace.
Going Palace.
Palace are going to get.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're going to get a result at Anfield.
Yeah, 5th in the form table, 13 points. He's done so well, beating Chelsea, beating Arsenal. Could he beat Liverpool as well? Guess we'll find out. Burnley. Have I told you this tactic that Burnley do?
No.
About me and Az saw it in an article a while ago. So Burnley, when they're defending, they've conceded more shots than anyone in the league by a mile, right? But the goals that they've let in isn't that bad, and the amount of blocks that they get is ridiculous. And the tactic that they're using, and it seems like a really simple one.
Yeah.
But what they do is instead of defending, marking players or being a certain distance away from the ball or going and pressing the ball, what they concentrate on is making sure that they're in between the ball and the goal. So they let teams have the ball up until like the 18-yard box, pretty much, and then they're just concentrating on being in the way of the ball and the goal. And
do you reckon that's how Dyche explained it to him in training?
Yeah,
lads,
in you come. Yeah, lads, in you come.
In you come. Get in the way of the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get in the way of the ball.
It hurts, doesn't it? It hurts doing that. Yeah. Same thing.
Right, I'm kind of a bit more manly than you and I.
Yeah, true. But they've got so many blocks from that, and there's some amazing highlights where they've worked on where do I need to be. It's knowing where the goal is, but like backwards, not in terms of scoring goals, in the opposite.
Do you reckon that's why Michael Keane wants out?
He's
sick of the ball hitting him in the face, hitting him in the chest. He's walking home. He's going. The wife's going. What's happened to you? You've been beaten up.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's from London. Just fucking balls will keep hitting me all day.
Yeah.
Sick of it.
Well, yeah, in training, you got to do the same thing.
I want to go play for Tottenham where they don't have to defend at all.
Or maybe there's a body odor problem. If they're all very close to each other, that could play a factor. You got to do that in training and then on a weekend as well. That's difficult.
It is a lot.
But that's what's got them there. Got them to. That was the whole aim this season for them, was just to stay up. 36 points. That should be enough already. But if they can get one more win in the last few games, they've obviously got 5 games left.
Yeah.
Then they'll be fine, which is a massive achievement for them with the squad that they've got, because it's not a good squad.
Man United ain't really scoring goals for fun, and they did beat Chelsea. Burnley don't score a lot of goals. Burnley defend well. Man United defend well. I think again styles will not gel, and I'm going to go for a draw.
Go for a draw. Crazy. Right, that's top 4 done. FA Cup semi-finals done. Premier League relegation. Right, we said at the start of this show. Yeah, Flav's not happy with the fixtures this week.
I mean, it's no one's fault.
It is no one's fault, but let me just read out the fixtures and then Flav, you can give your reaction to it. So, Swansea playing Stoke at home, Hull playing Watford at home, and Bournemouth, they've got Middlesbrough. They're at home to Middlesbrough.
I mean, if you need 3 more uninspiring fixtures, then you won't find any in all of football. I mean,
that's the challenge we're setting you. Let us know if you can think of a more boring fixture than any of those 3. You're not happy with them, Flav. You're going to offend people here with that comment.
Who?
Don't know. Stoke fans. Stoke fans have a bad rep. My best mate's a Stoke fan, and he doesn't care about them being seen as like unglamorous and boring.
No, I'm not saying they're unglamorous. It's just there's no goals in Borough. Swansea are on the arse end of a few kind of really bad results. Stoke, I mean, they're just Stoke. They're like mid-table mediocrity in the most extreme. And I feel for Stoke because Spurs were that for a long time. But we're not anymore, so I can look down my nose at them.
Yeah, nice.
Watford, I mean, one of the great things about Watford, you don't know what's coming. You have no idea what's coming. They're like a team of players that appeared from a random generator on a computer game.
Yeah.
I've never heard of any of them. And Hull, I've got. Do you know? I love that guy.
Silva.
Can't remember his bloody name.
Marcus Silva.
Silva.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost at home in 3 years.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and
that's got to win sooner or later.
I mean, Tottenham on the last day of the season.
Well, that's my upset. My upset is that Watford will
get a result.
Because
that's a big shout.
Because that is the latest thing. That's the big stat with Hull, that they, that he hasn't lost at home, and their home form is amazing, and it needed to be because their away form is absolutely dire.
Yeah.
But Watford, they're probably that annoying team that you go, oh, they'll win that one.
Yeah.
And then the pressure might get to Hull, or Hull need it so badly that they might do it. I think he's done brilliantly. I said it earlier this season. Got in numbers, got in attacking numbers, and it gives them a few more options. I mean, if you said to anyone, get Niasse in, he'll keep you up.
I know, incredible. And Hull, let's not forget, at the start of the season, started the season, or a week before the season started, we had 13 registered first team players.
Yeah.
They've suffered horrendous injuries to Ryan Mason. Just that one. Can't remember any others.
Yeah.
Michael Dawson ain't played all season. You know, good defender, certainly in the relegation dogfight. They sacked their manager at the right time. They brought in and kind of, it was a risk, but then so was you sometimes you have to take a risk. They jumped early, and it looks like Hull, and I really hope they do, because it's their fans have gone through a lot, and it's probably because they should all be watching rugby, because it's a whole rugby town.
Yeah,
it's selfish having 2 sports.
Yeah, it is.
But
where do you live? London.
Yeah. Well, how many sports have we got?
Loads. We had an Olympics.
Yeah, but we're the engine room of the country. We've got to keep us entertained, or we won't work for you anymore.
Fair enough.
Let's call it. Bournemouth and Borough. I think I've seen a little bit of change in Borough.
Okay.
Certainly against Arsenal, I thought they were decent. Swansea, they were unlucky when they drew 0-0. And
the tide's turning, is it?
I think it's probably turned a little bit too late, but I think they're going to go down. But I think they're going to beat Bournemouth, and that's one of my upsets for the weekend.
Okay. I think that's a weird game. Bournemouth, they do score goals, but they concede a hell of a lot as well. Middlesbrough scored 39 goals. Oh no, sorry, 23 goals they've scored this season.
Yeah.
That is pathetic.
Yeah, but for a team second bottom, they've also got a pretty good defence.
That is true.
So maybe Bournemouth's attacking prowess will enable Borough to get a cheeky goal and then shut up shop.
Okay. And at those 3, at this moment in time, Sunderland are gone, aren't they?
Yep.
Borough, Swansea, Hull. It looks like it's going to be one of those 3. Which one's going to survive?
I think I think Hull will stay up. I think that they look much more comfortable. They've been picking up results recently. Swansea, after Clement's original show of understanding what's necessary to stay up in the Premier League, that they're on the wrong end of some bad results. Where are they in the form table? They're bottom. Yeah, bottom.
Let's know in the comments below, who do you think is going to get relegated? It'll be interesting. Llorente is back, and that could play a part this week. But Hull, they've done brilliantly. And could anyone else get dragged into it? I think they pretty much need to not get any more points between now and the end of the season for them to go down. But you never know. Right, that's relegation. And essentially, I had in my notes here, boring, because you weren't happy with the fixtures, Flav. Yeah. So we'll move on.
Right.
And let's know, is there a more boring fixture than this? Than those ones? Can you think of them? Championship playoffs. Dipping in here now. Uncharted territory for you, Flav. How are you feeling?
I'm nervous. But I don't think I have to be nervous because most football fans admittedly don't work in football and get paid to talk about football. But most football fans only concentrate on the league that they're in.
That is completely true.
That is true. That's a fair thing to say. But I know a little bit. Let's see how it goes.
Let's dive in. All right. So, well, firstly, you're bang on. I remember being in Division 2 and knowing everything about it. As soon as we went up, I never looked at it again, which is bad on my part.
You was in League 2, were you?
Yeah, we were.
Division 2.
Yeah. Right. Burton.
Have a good time?
It was all right. There were good times. Ian Holloway's there, so that's all that mattered, really.
When are you going to admit that can we start with QPR and Brentford?
Go on then.
Firstly, Ad, are you confident on the weekend?
Yes.
You should be.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Everything points towards a Brentford win.
You should. So pressure's probably on you then.
Like, I don't really want that.
Also,
not the underdog.
Yeah, but also Brentford. You haven't been in this position for for those that don't know, Brentford are in almost unprecedented. These are unprecedented times.
Sort of.
Unknown waters. I mean, you had a good season under Warburton.
Our last 2 seasons have been similar, if not better than this. But before that, we would never have been dreaming of this.
He said we're going up next year. He also said, "I don't understand why we're 12th in the league table. We keep winning all the time." I don't understand it.
We keep winning.
Brentford won 4 of the last 6, which is pretty
Big
good.
wins as well.
5 of the last 10. So 5 of the last 10 though. Does that say that's gives you?
The wins though. We've beaten a lot of teams 4-0.
They're convincing.
That's Look, they've got good players. They have good players. But I think we can do something there. If we, I know we're right down the bottom of the form table.
You're not. You're just getting panned. You got to look.
I don't know.
I've got a question.
You look flat.
No.
You look flat, right? You don't know the truth. We've been making 5 changes, 4 changes, 6 changes each game.
Why?
Because the season's over. We're safe-ish. We're nearly safe.
Oh, right.
We're pretty much... So he's just going, right, let's try every formation that exists and play every player in all of those positions. Jamie Mackie finished the game at right back at the weekend.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like... I've never seen a player like Jamie Mackie who's literally it's like a toddler playing. He's so excited to get forward, and he went right back for a second, and he was just like trying to leg it. When as soon as we got the ball, he's like, we can score a goal. And everyone's yelling at him, get back. But we made a hell of a lot of changes. Before that, we started to put a team together. We had a very good January, and we won 4 on the spin.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
Is Holloway coming out and saying we're experimenting?
No.
So you're putting that in.
But why would he?
That isn't real.
Why would he say that?
Because he looks like a maniac currently. He looks like an absolute maniac manager. You're third You're third bottom in the form table. Third bottom. It's not
above Birmingham and Rotherham.
People are coming and paying tickets to watch the mad professor experiment. Look, don't get me wrong. I really like Ian Holloway, one of the most likeable men in football, and I hope it works out for him. I really do. But your love affair for Ian Holloway is clouding your judgment. This is not acceptable.
No.
QPR are a third from bottom currently in the league table.
Not in the league table, in the form table.
In the form table. Brentford, who are coming to town, they're currently third in the form table.
Yeah, right. Now listen. You done?
Yes.
Right. He made sure we were safe. He brought in some decent players, and he was finding out who's good enough and who's not good enough. Right? Brentford, and this is why I have a bit of hope for the Brentford game, is that he will play the best team he can play. And that includes Matt Smith and Connor Washington. And if those two play up front together, we've got a chance. All right?
Right.
And Matt Smith, I have never seen someone win as many headers as this guy. He's insane. He's like essentially having a rugby player on the football pitch, a really posh rugby player. And he wins so many headers. And Brentford tell me if I'm wrong, Adam, are
Hardly.
crap on set pieces. They are rub. Am I wrong? So we've got a chance. We don't need to dominate the game. We just need to score more goals than them. And anything can happen in a derby game. That's what I'm telling myself.
Right. What you're gonna have? What your problem with you and why you will wind up other QPR fans
Go on.
is you're an apologist.
I'm an apologist.
You're an apologist.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but
Yeah.
go on.
For
Explain
Holloway.
that.
I've
Nah.
explained it. You said, look, it doesn't matter what he'll do. You'll apologise for him because you love him.
I do love him, but that's a good thing. I'm also a realist.
It's not. It isn't a
Well,
good.
no,
it's-
but
it's-
we're not going up.
It's counterproductive.
No, nonsense.
You're never going up with under Ian Holloway. You might go down,
No.
and then what? You'll apologise again.
Look, if he takes us down, then he I can't say it. But we were going to be mid-table. We reek of mid-table.
Right.
Here's another thing, right? I bet all fans have had this. And me and my mate Dom is a Brentford fan. We were chatting about this. Is at the start of the season and in general moments of form where you go up or down.
Yeah.
You still have a kind of gut compass that takes you back to where you really think you're going to end up.
Yeah.
And at the start of the season, I said we'd finish 15th. And we look like a team that's going to finish 15th.
Yeah.
And we've drifted up and down. We had moments of a bit of excitement, but the gut in me has always felt that we're going to the equilibrium of QPR this season, the team we've got, would finish 15th. And so I don't know where we are at the moment, but we're a bit beneath that. The point is that's mid-table, right?
Yeah.
So this season doesn't matter.
All right.
But he needs to get it ready for next season. And that's what he's trying to do.
We will see.
We will see next week on this podcast because
As long as you're happy. Ultimately, your happiness is all that matters to me, mate. I just want. I don't. You
What
know.
about mine?
Your happiness. I want. You're.
He's
Might
happy.
both be happy.
I'm not saying I ain't choosing him over you. I'm just saying.
Why not? I've known
What?
him much longer.
Well, I don't. It's not like that. I mean, I don't. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
I tell you
don't
when he
care
enjoys.
who wins.
Point is that there's no
I
reason
like
to
his,
get.
I like his quiet arrogance. Though. I like the saying.
Well, he
about-
would, but they're high. They're doing well.
Yeah.
The point is that there's no point in losing your shit when you're mid-table.
So
Like, just relax.
What are you saying? Are you saying a banker for QPR then?
That is a banker. It's a 3-2. That's going to be. It's going to be 3-2. They will score goals. Hoss is a good player.
Yeah.
And Canos is a great player as well. However, we will score from set pieces and we will defend for our lives and we will win 3-2.
All right.
Okay.
You got for that.
I'm abstaining.
You're abstaining. No, you've got to at some point.
All right.
So we've got a lot of paper here, guys. You probably can hear.
Brentford. I'm going to go Brentford at home. All day.
It's a smart bet.
All day.
I'll be honest. Right. Also, Burton could stay up. This is amazing. Burton, their capacity is 6,912. And they've come through leagues. They were at the conference in the conference a while
A
back.
lot of money getting pumped in. No?
Did you know that?
Yeah, put a fair bit of money in.
Not enough, I don't think, to do it.
Right.
Not en- for them still to be.
Hang on, I'm thinking of Crawley Town.
You are thinking of Crawley Town.
Who also came up for this.
They did, yeah, and they're struggling now. But Burton, for them, for the size of that club, they should be doing what Rotherham are doing and having an absolute nightmare. But Clough has done well. He's brought in some decent players. They've had the chairman must get some credit because he's brought in some really smart managers. Hasselbank did okay there.
Yeah.
And he came to us and again probably didn't get enough time to try and implement what he wanted to, but it wasn't great football. But Rowett's clearly a decent manager, and he proved that at Birmingham. And Nigel Clough is a good, steady Championship manager who does well there. He's done well at Burton, and actually did okay at Sheffield United.
Yeah.
But for him to keep them up, and it looks like they could do one more win if they can beat Leeds this weekend.
And Leeds are not playing well.
Leeds are in a weird. They've just dropped out of the playoffs. There's 7 teams battling it out for the playoffs there, and they've just dropped out of it. That would be a disaster for Leeds, to be honest. Although they've gone well beyond their expectations at the start of the season, I would say, and I think most Leeds fans would say the same.
Yeah, he's done Monk had a kind of turbulent start to his time at Leeds. It looked like Gillian was going to
First 8 games, I think he struggled.
bin him, and he turned it around, and he deserved the time. Slightly, he has that kind of he's irritating, but I'm not sure why. Gary Monk about him.
Yeah,
and Leeds are irritating, and I absolutely know why. So it's a good match. It's a good match.
Yeah.
For him. But no, I think looking at the form, Leeds are struggling currently. Burton are going to just need that one more win probably to stay up. Amazing story, as you say, tiny capacity. You wouldn't imagine a great deal of spending power in comparison to, say, the Aston Villas or the Newcastles of the league. So
I'm just trying to remember what I did here. Burton, I've got a banker for Leeds. The reason being, I think their games after this are Huddersfield and Bristol City, and both quite tough games, and they need to really win all three, Leeds, if they want to get into the playoffs. And I just think they just need it so badly. Although Burton obviously do as well. I think they've got the buffer that I think that drive will kind of get them over the line. To win this one at least, but it's going to be so tight in the Championship for the playoffs. What's a bit sad for him, isn't it? And this is like with the playoff thing, with QPR being mid-table, this is why I think QPR fans shouldn't get too crazy, is because that kind of momentum carries on into the next season, or that feeling does. And what will be quite difficult for Gary Monk is that they've done so well, and if they say they win one of these last three, they've blown it, they ruined it. They didn't have enough. And that could... Does he get sacked if they don't get a God,
player?
I mean, I hope not. I mean, that's madness.
Yeah,
if
but
they do,
based on what's happened to Leeds before...
You'd hope he's got enough credit in the
What do you reckon, Ed?
I don't think he will.
You've got...
Madness.
I know it'd be madness, but
I'm a mad owner, but I find it unlikely.
it was madness that Rowett was sacked to Birmingham.
You can't...
You're never safe.
Yeah, you're never safe. Yeah, that's so true. That's such a good point. You're never safe. But I think they'll probably have enough... but down the bottom of the Championship, massive team. Wigan won the FA Cup, looking like they're going to go back down now. They'd need to win all three games. Don't really score enough goals, and they should be there. To be honest, their squad I don't think has been good enough to stay in the league this year. Blackburn, Tony Mowbray's come in, and he looks like he could do something. I've got a funny feeling Forest are going to get dragged into it, And Warburton, what a turnaround that would be for a guy who in August was the messiah of Rangers. They'd won the cup, beating Celtic in the semi-final, going into the league, back in the big time, all so exciting, signing all these players. And by the end of the season, he might be going from walking into an Old Firm game to going into League One.
With
nightmare.
Champions of Europe, Nottingham Forest.
Forest.
I mean, it's a bit unfair. It would be unfair on Warburton to blame Nottingham Forest relegation on him. He's only been there a few games. Yeah. A couple of draws in the last 2 games that he's had in the league. But yeah, 7 months is a long time in football. I mean, in no other profession do things change around like they do in football. And as we've seen with Ranieri, you can't live off last season's success. Yeah,
I think straight away it looks like he's implemented the Warburton way, which is keeping. They like to keep the ball. Yeah. All the teams that he's managed to have done that well, and he's doing that with Forest.
It seems like that. Like there's these fashions in football. Things turn, like possession football was once the king. Like Barcelona were the best at it and were the best in the world until people started to suss them out and realised actually you can have the ball. Yeah. As long as you don't hurt us, you can keep it. And that, the fashion towards possession football it's kind of changed. And I wonder if Warburton has it in his locker to change with it, because you can win the league with 37% possession.
Well, I think tell me if I'm wrong, Adam. There's a phrase he said at Brentford. He said, someone asked him what his plan B is, and he said, do plan A better. Yeah. So he has one way of, am I right? Yeah. So it's like he has one way of playing.
That's worrying.
It probably is. But he's also done very well in his first seasons at clubs. Yeah. Did very well at Brentford. Did very well at Rangers. So he might be able to get across that impact quickly enough for them to stay up. But I think the good thing that he's got around him in terms of the teams, I think Blackburn might get out of this, But Birmingham, who are above Forest, 2 points above Forest, 2 wins in 22. Zola's gone now after Burton beat them. He's gone now, and Harry Redknapp's come in. Yeah. And we've both been, we haven't been managed, but our clubs have been managed by Harry Redknapp. And is this a smart move or a desperate one, Flav?
It's a smart move. It's a better move than keeping Zola. Yeah, so in that respect, yeah, it's a smart move. Redknapp's record as a manager is very good. All the clubs he's managed, more or less, he's done well at. I don't think he did that great at Southampton. And he did the biggest snaky thing in going from Southampton to Portsmouth. I think Portsmouth to Southampton and back to Portsmouth again, if I remember rightly. I might be wrong there. At his time at Spurs, he benefited massively from having a brilliant squad, but Ramos before him couldn't do the things that he did with that squad. So, you give him props there as well.
Because that was the thing I thought when he goes in. I'm thinking, well, he hasn't got a window. He hasn't got a transfer window. He can't get some guys in on loan
But he didn't have a Tottenham either, to be fair.
I know, yeah, and then it's a good point because they were,
His first thing he says is, I went into the changing room and I can't believe that this team is second from bottom of the league. It's madness.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more to a footballer's game than being able to play football. You have the right psychology. The biggest top line cliche where they got to feel loved. But having a manager who understands that, or can simplify the game, or remove perhaps the overcomplicated way that Zola was going about his business, or perhaps Zola just couldn't generate the enthusiasm in the squad. He didn't have the charisma to do it. Harry Redknapp has nothing.
He's nothing like Zola. Is he? That's a safe thing.
He's one of the most charismatic football managers, and why so many people like him. Despite, I would say, if you're a supporter of a club that he managed, you don't like him. No one likes him. But as a person and a storyteller and a man who's seen everything in football, if you need to pick up 8 points out of your last 17, he's probably the best man. He's a good man to do it, at least. I think they've got a chance now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Is like you need something different. You need something, and you probably need a bit of. He might provide even just a bit of levity, or it's just a completely different perspective that might sort of stop the rot.
That's it. He has got Aston Villa.
That's it.
That is a massive derby. I mean, they hate each other. They loathe each other, and it's violent and full of emotion. And actually, perhaps simplifying it and going out and said, lads, just enjoy this. Get your nuts on that ball. You wingers run.
Yeah.
And then and just play your football kind of thing, and not overcomplicating it.
Villa are doing. Steve Bruce it's working now. I mean, to be fair, their squad is insane. All the money that they spent, like Khadija up front. I'm not sure Cormac's playing as much as he was, but like we.
Forest.
He's at Forest now. Sorry, yeah.
He's also AWOL.
Yeah.
They got Hogan as well.
Yeah, has he been playing? Scott Hogan.
I think he's just come back from the.
Yeah, he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Oh god, yeah, that was really.
Khadija and Hogan's a dutting forward line in the Championship.
But yeah,
that will shoot them up next season if they keep fit.
Yeah, they're doing very well in the last sort of 10 or so games. I guess the kind of pressure went maybe off them a little bit, as much as it can do for Villa in the Championship, because they kind of knew they weren't going to get in the playoffs, so they could then kind of just start again a little bit. And Steve Bruce is just a good manager, isn't he? I think they could get done. I think that Birmingham could get absolutely done this weekend. And Redknapp all of a sudden could look a bit silly if they do get big.
I think he's probably looking past this game. I think he knows that it's a mad one, a derby. Anything can happen. Birmingham could get a result, but I don't think it's fair to judge him on that first game. Obviously, because he hasn't got time for his tactics to be put in place. But more so than he'll be looking at the games past that, I think.
Okay. Right. So yeah, let us know who you think's who's going to survive out of those guys down the bottom of the Championship. If you're a fan of any of those clubs, let us know a bit more as well, because that'll be interesting to hear. Because obviously, there's only so much we can know being fans of our clubs. Like me as a QPR fan, often most I see is that one game, that home game that you guys come to Loftus Road. So it'd be good to know a bit more about the story of your seasons. Let us know. So that's about it.
Do we want them to do their predictions?
We do. So, as we said earlier, we're launching the One for the Weekend League, which you guys can get involved. So we've all predicted our 13 results for this weekend's games. You can head over to the Fanleague Twitter and Facebook pages and you can see our full list. We'll give you a little bit of insight into them in a second. If you want to get involved, though, in our YouTube channel, so it's the Long Ball Street YouTube channel, go subscribe to that and leave your 13 predictions in the comments below. And next week, you could be playing against us.
Yep.
So, whoever gets the most right for this week will be chosen next week to give their 13 and be the fan in our league table against me and you and Ian McIntosh, as we said at the start.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So you just go into our comments on YouTube, pick the 13 games.
Yep.
Where they win, lose, or you can hedge your bets.
Yep.
If you want, you can bet on both. I'm just confusing things.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. All right, win, lose or draw. Let us know in those 13 fixtures, which we'll put in the comments.
Yeah, look, we've picked.
And then, if you get the most, then you get to play next week. And obviously, we'll give you a massive shout out because you will be the man or woman of the One for the Weekend League. So that's it. That's the first episode of One for the Weekend, mate.
Any women listen to this, do you think?
I said, yeah, loads.
Really?
Yeah.
What, for me?
It's the stubble. Because you keep it so trim, don't you? It's really clever.
Sometimes.
There's a rule, isn't there?
It's got a razor.
It's supposed to be two fingers above your Adam's apple.
Is it?
You're supposed to be doing.
How close am I?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, it's good. All right. Yeah, sorry that was random.
Never apologise.
No. I'm an apologist.
Yeah, that's your problem. Sorry for this. Sorry for that.
Yeah. So this was One for the Weekend, brought to you by Fanleague. We'll be back next weekend. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.
One final thing.
Go on.
Tell us about...
What? Boring fixtures?
No, not the most boring fixtures, but also tell us about the worst reason why you had to miss the football.
Yeah.
My son was born. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I went to IKEA. My girlfriend's mum's cat was ill. And I had to take
That's something we should talk about next week. Is what would you, if you were an actual footballer, what would you miss for? What level of game would you miss the birth of your child for?
Yeah, I was pretty.
Next week.
Okay. I want to talk it now.